Okay, so I was going to set this up from scratch, but then I realized you won't actually be able to hear me speaking if I don't do some sort of pre-setup to get the audio from this mic into OBS, which means I would have had to do some settings on the actual mixer. So I've done that. I'll show you what I've done in a moment. There is a 4-minute video on here that shows you how to do it anyway, but I'll go through that anyway. So we're looking at basically we're looking at a setup for a live streaming event. Don't worry about the background noise for now, it's just a fan in the background. I will take care of that with a gate in a second. But yeah, we're looking at a streaming event, a setup for a streaming event that's about to take place. And this is going to be an interesting setup because the audio is going to be recorded in 32, or at least as many channels as I'll be using, by the mixer into a DAW. But what I'll be sending to the stream is the audio coming from the DAW, the individual channels coming from the DAW. I'll be sending that audio to the stream instead of the audio coming in to the actual mixer from the individual instruments and mics. And I'll be controlling the audio going to the stream, which is coming from the DAW, using the actual mixer itself. So I'll have all the DSP from the mixer at my disposal to edit and control the audio going to the stream. I'll also have all the DSP and processing power of my DAW on my laptop going to the stream as well. Let me take care of this background fan noise. 1 second. Let's see, that's worked. So you'll still hear a little bit when I speak, but when the gate closes it should be fine. I'm just going to increase that volume output on the channel and on the overall stream as well. Right, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. So as I was saying, this is going to be a bit of a long-winded one because I'm going through pretty much everything that I'm doing in real time. So, you know, it's not like I've had time to go away and prepare and then come and just show you all the fancy stuff. We're doing everything together. But I will do it in stages, and we'll start pretty much now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is show you what I've done thus far, because this is actually quite important in terms of being able to actually set up your actual stream. And what I've done so far is just to get the audio to come from the desk and to go out of the mixer. To come into the to come into the laptop via USB. And this is the setup I'm going to be using. That's going to allow me to do everything I said initially. So the aim here, just to recap, I'm going to control the audio going to the stream from the mixer. So Master Fader will be doing this for me. And yes, I'll be using some of the DSP from the DL32S going to the mixer. Going to the stream, sorry, from the mixer. However, I'll also run that same audio through my DAW on the same laptop. Okay, and I will get the audio going to the stream to come from the laptop first, from the DAW, while we're using Reason, to come back to the mixer, control all the overall volumes and etc., everything from the actual mixer itself, and send that to the stream. So it's a bit of a crazy one. So originally the audio will come from outside, it will get plugged into the mixer, come into the mixer from whatever external source it's coming from, whether it's a keyboard, a microphone, you name it. Then from the mixer it's going to be sent out of the USB into the laptop. In the laptop I'm going to send it to my DAW, which is Reason. I'm then going to send the audio out of Reason back into the mixer via USB, and I'm going to use the audio that's coming from the mixer, from Reason on the laptop, and send that audio to the stream, as opposed to the audio that's just coming directly into the mixer from the various sources. Advantage of that is, if I was running a stream and I was also doing sound for front of house as well, I can have everything that I need available. However, I'm not limited to the gain and EQ settings that are available on the mixer, because if I'm EQing and mixing for front of house, I can't then change that or amend that EQ so it's appropriate for a stream. However, if I run it through a DAW first, then it is possible, because I can use the EQ on the DAW for this for the audio going to the stream, and then I can also use the gain on the mixer on the DAW, which is why I use Reason. It gives me an SSL mixer, so I can use the EQ and the gain from the DAW independent and manipulate that for the audio going to the stream, as opposed to being stuck with one set of EQ and one set of gain for both the stream and in-house. The other big advantage is I can then control both from the same mixer. Obviously, I can't be using up all the channels. And secondly of all, if you're doing a similar type of thing, you don't have to send every single thing coming into your mixer to your stream. You can pick and choose the core stuff, so you don't have to use double the amount of channels, just the essential ones. So say you've got a line of, I don't know, 7 or 8 backing vocals, just pick the individual parts. So you'd have 3 backing vocal parts going to the stream, and including the main, so that's 4. As opposed to if you had 7 backing vocals and 1 main, that's 8. So you're using half the channels, but still being able to send what you need to the stream. So let's see what I've done so far. Stage 1. I'll show you how I've actually just set up this preliminary setup to get this working. After I've plugged the mic into channel 31, the first thing I did is I upped the gain, and because this is a condenser mic that requires phantom power, I turned on the 48 volt phantom power. The next thing I did is I then went into aux 7 and 8, as those are the ones I'm going to use for my side stream, and I combined the two so I can get left and right. Next thing I did is I turned the volume up on channel 32 for the stream. You'll see here for the main left and right, which I've changed the color to orange because I'm using white for the stream, the volume's down. And it's also up because I've got a stereo body pack plugged into auxes 1 and 2 to give me left and right as well. So that's why I've turned the volume up on channel 32 on those 2 channels, which I've linked together as well, because I want to be able to hear what it is I'm doing. So now that's all set up, I've then gone into my USB routing page. And as you know, USB channel 1 is the left channel and USB channel 2 is the right channel. So I've sent auxes 7 and 8 to USB 1 and 2, 7 being my left channel and 8 being my right channel. The stereo combination of 7 and 8 then becomes left and right for what's going out to USB 1 and 2. And the USB cable from the mixer is what's then carrying that from the mixer to the laptop. And then obviously from the laptop I'm going to route that into Reason, and I'll show you how to do that now. Anyway, so within OBS, I've gone into settings, audio, and from the drop down menu of the mic aux channel, I've picked the DL32S as my audio source. And then also for a good measure for my sound, within my sound preferences on the Mac, I've also selected the DL32S for both in and out. So now we're going to go to the door and start doing the setup. Now, just to let you know, currently you're listening to me directly from the input on the mixer in channel 32. So this mic is plugged directly into channel 32, and it's being sent through the mixer via USB to OBS. And you're listening to me via what's coming directly into the mixer. Nothing is being routed through the door yet, but this is what we're about to change. So first thing I need to do is I need to create an actual channel on the door. Now, what I need to do within my door is I need to send the audio from that very specific channel out of my door back into the mixer. Now, before I start this process, I have to let you know that I cannot use channels 1 and 2 because USB channel 1 and 2 are being used for varying information between the mixer and the laptop. So if I tried to use 1 and 2, I would get the overall sound of everything that's going backwards and forward. So I'll have to start from channel 3. So we've already sacrificed 2 of our 32 channels, which makes you wonder why they build them and say this is a 32 channel mixer rather than 30. Because when you're doing this, you've already sacrificed 2 channels. They're quite clever, aren't they? I have to do something really quick in the setup. Pick the Mackie. Make sure all 32 channels are selected and out, and also in. Active inputs and outputs are all 32. Take this channel. Wait 1 second. I just had to bring up the panel that has all the channels. And there you go. Channel 3, boom. And you'll already see within reason, channels 1 and 2 are already being used. Output from my master on my mixer is being sent to USB 1 and 2. So that's why I can't use those. I'm going to start from 3. This is what I like Reason for. It's very intuitive. Flip this background. This is a mono channel. And you'll see when I'm speaking, it's telling me it's getting its audio from the Mackie DL32S input 1. So if I choose input 2, it'll also jump around. However, if I choose, say, input 3, where there's nothing going in, there's nothing. So this is why you have to skip channels 1 and 2, because they're already being used to ferry information over USB. So we're going to skip those 2, and then we're going to use channel 3. And because this mic is plugged into channel 32 on the mixer, as soon as I selected the input channel and I've told the DAW to collect its information from input channel 32 on the mixer, straight away it's giving me the information that's coming from this mic. So now I know channel 32 from the mixer is coming in. It's going into audio track 1, which I'm about to relabel my main mic. I'll go with lead mic. I don't want to put the names of the individuals that are on this set, because that's not information you need to know. But that's what I'm going to name it, lead mic. And I'm going to build my mixer on my DAW the way I want it to appear on the day. So now the next thing I need to do is to bring back this audio from lead mic 1 on my mixer on my DAW back into channel 3, which will be my first mixer on the stream. Now how I would do this, in fact, let me just bring this back down. The first thing I need to do is I need to instruct the DL32S to say I want the audio coming into the mixing channels on my desk to come in from the USB as opposed to from the actual physical mixer itself. So here's where it might get a little bit confusing, because I've said some stuff earlier on, and I've actually maybe confused the situation. Channel 3 is where I'm going to plug in the physical microphone on the day. However, I'm going to control that microphone, or I have to control that microphone from a different channel to channel 3. So I'll have channel 3 for the front of house mix. I won't actually have a front of house on the day, but channel 3 for the front of house mix, if you are running a front of house mix. And then I will also have a separate channel which I'll use to control channel 3. I just need to do a quick calculation to make sure I have enough channels. Okay, so I reckon for the whole project I'm going to use less than 15 channels. So I'm going to split the mixer into 2. So I've got 30 channels, and I'm going to start my live stream mix from channel 16 going onwards. So 16 to 32 is going to be my online mix, and channels 3 to 15 are going to be my, in fact no, I'll go from channels 3 to 17, and then 18 onwards will be my online mix, just to leave a few extra channels just in case. So every channel from channel 18 onwards is going to be a USB channel. So the audio coming in from channel 18 onwards will come from USB, and the audio coming in from channels 3 to 18 to 17, sorry, will come from the actual physical inputs on the mixer. Okay, so this is good. I've hit a bit of another wall in my planning. Some of the audio inputs that are going to be coming into the mixer are going to be jack inputs. So I'll have to flip this and do it the other way around. Because I know I'm going to have jack inputs, and my combo inputs on the DL32 are channels 17 to 32, and my actual physical just XLR inputs are channels 1 to 15. If I make my flip it around and basically do it in reverse, so I will plug in the physical channel into channel 18, but I will use channel 3 to control channel 18 and makes channels 3 to 17 the USB, and then make channels 18 to 32 the sort of main the main mic. And just so there's no interruption here, I'm actually going to switch this to where it's supposed to go from channel 32. I'm going to switch it to channel 18, and then I'll replug it in and carry on from there. 1 second. There we go. So channel 18 is now the main microphone. Now within Reason, I now need to make that adjustment again, because remember we told Reason to pull the audio from channel 32. Now we need to tell Reason to pull the audio from channel 18. And as you can see, Reason now is jumping around because it can see the audio from channel 18. And what I had to do there was just to tell Reason to not take it in as a stereo input, because what it had done is it had taken both left and right and assigned the right channel to channel 4, which is not what I want. I just want channel 3 to be coming from that lead mic, so I'll just remove channel 4, not the TV station. What we've told Reason is that we want to take the audio from from channel 1, or what we've named lead mic, and we want to send that to USB 3. So it is irrelevant what you call the channel within Reason. There's no relevance. You could call that channel within Reason channel 1. That doesn't matter. Where you've assigned the channel within Reason is what determines what that channel is. And because I've assigned it to USB output 3, then that USB channel then becomes channel whatever I want to assign it to on the mixer. So in this case, I want to assign it to channel 3. So remember, this is USB 3. You can see it there, USB 3. If I choose that I want USB 3 to go to channel 9, for example, I can send it to channel 9, and then on here, when I look at channel 9, I have to churn channel 9. You can already see USB 3, so before I even flick that button, Master Fader 5 is already telling me that you've assigned the input for this channel to come from USB 3, and we've chosen USB 3 from the mixer. Now I know a lot of you will be questioning, well, hang on a second, we didn't tell Master Fader that it's USB 3. That's fine. How Reason works is, once I assign something out of USB 3 on Reason, that automatically tells Master Fader or the mixer where I want the audio input to come from. So the second I do anything with that USB channel within Master Fader, it will automatically pull the information from Reason and send it to where I want to. And it already displayed it for me there before I even clicked to say change this to a USB channel. So I'm no longer taking my audio from mic pre 9, I'm now taking my audio from USB 3. See, that was just to show you, and you can assign it. You can send USB 3 to multiple channels if you wanted to. but we want that to come from, we want USB 3 to go to physical channel 3. So what I'm going to do here, yeah, I'm going to leave it, but there's nothing here because I haven't assigned anything to it, so it'll just say input B, nothing, until I assign something. So I'm just going to quickly mass assign these so that I can get that bit over and done with, because I'm going to save all of this. But let me just mass do that now. I don't believe I'll be using more than 16 channels. I'm going to have 6 on the kit. Yeah, I'm not going to have 8 on the kit, I'm going to have 6 on the kit. I'm going to have 3 physically assigned backing vocals mics, so that makes 9. 1 lead mic, 10. 2 inputs for the keys, that's 12. 1 for the bass, 13. And then if I do get like a second keys or electric guitarist or whatever, I have basically I have 3 channels to mess around with. And hence I've not touched USB 1 and 2 because I know that's already doing its job. I'm starting from channel 3. So we can now see that channel 3 is giving us the USB output. So this microphone is going into channel 18. It's being sent out of channel 18 via USB into the laptop. It's then going into Reason, and then I'm sending it out of Reason into USB 3, and then from USB 3 I'm then bringing USB 3 back onto channel 3. So now I'm going to turn down, because currently you're listening to this directly from the mixer. I'm going to turn it down, and then I'm going to leave channel 3 up so you can listen to it directly from just the audio coming from Reason. So now we just have the audio coming in from Reason. I'm going to do the same so I can hear it as well. And notice that there is no gate. So I'm going to apply a gate. So that's the gate applied. And now I'm going to mess around with some effects in Reason so you can hear the differences. In fact, I'll apply the gate from Reason just so you can hear the difference. So straight away you can see that I now have control of this microphone, and the audio that I'm sending to the stream can now be controlled directly from Reason rather than the actual mixer itself. And I held off applying any EQ earlier on because I wanted to show you, or to illustrate, that now I don't have to rely on the EQ from the DL32S. I can actually just rely on the EQ from Reason. So if I wanted to increase my low end, I can do that from there. if I wanted to just control that low mid, add some clarity to, some sheen or whatever to there, I can do it. And I don't have to worry about feedback from my front of house. So if I wanted to really boost my highs the way I wanted them for the stream, and not have to be scared about, oh my gosh, if I take my highs that high to get that crisp sound, I'll start to get feedback because of the room setup. I'm not limited anymore. So I'm free to sort of do whatever it is I needed to do and not have to worry from an EQ perspective or from any sort of processing perspective. But more importantly, Reason gives you more functionality than in terms of if you have, okay, so let me not say Reason, a DAW in general, particularly if you're using VSTs, you can use some of the latest and greatest, so long as your computer or laptop can handle the output. You just see how badly I'm not clipping as bad. Well, there is a bit of clipping. But yeah, so long as your computer can handle the output or handle the processing, then you can use waves or whatever VSTs you have and get some really good quality sound as opposed to what Mackie can put into their device. So this is a huge advantage. Now, predominantly when I used to set this up, I would instruct using a separate computer for mixing the audio to the computer that you use to run the stream, and then send the audio from the first computer to the second. This, let me just take off that. Take that off, it's too much. But this allows you to do everything from one computer. If the computer is fast enough, you can stream the audio, control the DAW within the same computer. Now bear in mind, this will be for a small setup. You probably wouldn't, in fact, you definitely wouldn't be doing this if you have a massive setup. But this will work for me because obviously what I'm doing on the day, as I said to you, I've told you what channels I'm using. It's a keyboard, a bass, a couple of vocalists, possibly a guitar or a second keyboard. There's not a drummer. There's not going to be a massive amount of inputs and outputs that I need. So the processing should be relatively okay for the device I have, the computer I have. It's an i7, But yeah, so that will work for that. But yeah, it gives you overall control from the same device, same computer, the same mixer, same tablet as you would use if you were using, as you'd use in general, but you just have more control over everything. Let me go back to Reason and show you. Sorry, not Reason, to Master Fader. So now that I'm within Master Fader, I can also use some of the DSP from within Master Fader. In fact, all of the DSP from within Master Fader, and do stuff to that channel, and still use both the DAW and the and Master Fader. So I'm going to add some compression, and I'm going to do so from Master Fader, which I've just done now. And then I'm just going to use that gain feature to boost the output gain. And as you can see, the vocal is being compressed quite nicely within Master Fader. But I can rely on the compressors within my DAW. So I've really got a lot more option. I've doubled my my bank of DSP. I've doubled my, how many effects I can use, etc. I've just pretty much given myself a nice platform with which to do all of this. So when you change it to USB 2, notice the gain disappears, but the trim remains. And I actually have a couple of videos, one in particular that explains this really, really well. There's one I do which is called gain versus trim, and then the other one explains why the gain disappears when you select USB. And the short answer is gain controls the mic pre's. So whatever you plug into the physical mic pre's is controlled by the gain setting. Whereas when you're using USB, there's no physical mic pre, so there's no requirement for gain. You have trim, and you can reduce and increase that trim depending on how much you need. Notice with gain, it starts at 0, you have to increase it, but trim starts off with a set amount of volume because the audio should already be there. Basically, so the second you select it, you shouldn't have to start to look for, receiving that audio because it's coming in from a USB source. But yeah, just thought I'd point that out. Channels 23 to 24 will be patched into channels 7 and 8, and channel 9, which is the bass, will be taken from channel 22. Okay, now I'm going to test the keyboard. This might make a bit of noise, sorry. Okay, I think we can say that's working. Let's do the bass now. Before the amp. Let's do something. keys properly. Okay, now let's play bass back to what we've just recorded and test this setup out. I'm gonna disarm this mic and then just play the bass along, so you won't be able to hear me talk. Let's do something. Just like a little, I'm not really a keys player, so I don't know how to actually play keys properly. play bass back. Let's do something. Let's do something. Before I play this, just wanted to say you're going to see from the Mackie how the audio is in the Mackie from the door, and how I can control the audio playing from the door using the master fader, basically. I'll hit play, then I'll jump away from Reason. Just Yeah, I was doing a bit of controlling on the tablet there, which is why you saw things moving around and the mouse wasn't moving. But I'm going to end this here now. I think I've set up enough for one day. Catch you guys soon. Peace.